external source, the emission can be classified into various types. Okay, so if I consider this zinc metals, if I consider this zinc metal, when I supply this amount of energy, there is a ejection of electrons will take place. So if I apply 3 amount electron volt, so electron volt is a unit of energy. We'll explain once again. So there is a ejection of electrons. तो एमिट होने के बाद यहाँ पे कितना अमाउंट हो रहा है 3 इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट से. सो जितना इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट का हम एनर्जी सप्लाई करेंगे उतना ही क्या है उससे इक्वल और ग्रेटर देन सप्लाइड एनर्जी शुड गो आउटसाइड फ्रॉम द मेटल. सो इट विल लीव सम electrons to the metal surface. Okay, so different this amount of energy which is required to get outside, that is minimum amount of energy is called work function. उसको क्या बोलते हैं हम work function is denoted by phi naught. That is called work function. That is called work function of the metal Okay, so work function is different for different materials or different photosensitive materials. Okay, so यहाँ पे देखना work function is different for cesium atom, potassium, rubidium, like this. So cesium atom के लिए 4.12 इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट होगा. Okay, next 3.14 इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट. Okay, next 5.14 rubidium के लिए 5.530 इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट. So like this, the energy of that work function of different metals is differ to different nature. Okay, so work function क्या होता है? So there is work function is different for different metals. Okay, so यहाँ पे है work function that is denoted by phi naught. Okay, so this is your electron emission. This is your electron emission. So when you apply some amount of energy, there is a liberation of electron. जितना amount of energy अगर से देने के बाद, जब amount of energy देने के बाद electron will getting outside, there is liberation of electron. How it is possible? You have to supply sufficient amount of electron to get outside. Otherwise they cannot be come out. Okay, so you have to supply 3 electron volt which is equal to amount of energy. So जितना amount of energy इसको बाहर आने के लिए लगता है उतना amount of energy और greater than amount of energy you have to supply. There only there is ejection of electrons from the metal surface. Okay, so depending on external source, the type electron emission can be divided into further categories, further groups, depending upon external source electron emission has 4 types of groups. Okay, first वाला था thermionic emission. thermionic emission. Second one is field emission. Third one field emission. Third one photoelectric emission. Okay, photoelectric emission. Fourth one secondary emission. So listen here. So first हम क्या पढ़े हैं? Process of emission of electrons from the metal surface. Okay. So different energy sources हम use करें. तो different energy sources use करने के बाद there is ejection of electrons. तो जो हम metal surface के अंदर free electrons रहते हैं, तो free electrons is nothing but they are loosely bounded electrons. Okay, so these are loosely bounded electrons. So when you give some sufficient amount of energy to get outside of the metal surface, so when you supply heat energy when you supply heat energy. So heat मतलब thermal. So thermal energy जब supply करेंगे, supply करने के बाद क्या होता है? There is a absorption amount of energy to get liberate the free electrons. जो है they will get some higher potential. यहाँ पे जो बाहर आने वाले के लिए लो पोटेंशियल रहेगा. अगेन सेकेंड लेयर पे यहाँ पे लो पोटेंशियल, उसके हायर पोटेंशियल पे है. दिस also higher potential, it will get also higher potential. That means the energy will be increasing to liberate there. So if I one photon, one amount of energy, so energy is liberated, one photon of amount of energy जो डालने के बाद क्या हो गया है? So there is one electron emission बाहर आ रहा है. So बाहर आ रहा मतलब क्या हो रहा है? So if I supply 1 electron volt, the free electron should go 1 electron volt or which exceeds 1 electron volt से ज़्यादा रहना. Amount of energy should equal or greater than equal to this applied energy. So work function बोलते हैं हम इसको. Okay. So this is heat energy. What is work function? The minimum amount of energy which is required to get outside of this metal surface. उस वाले एनर्जी को क्या हम बोलते हैं? वर्क फंक्शन. That is phi naught. That is called phi naught. Okay. So यहाँ पे देखना, जितना अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी हम सप्लाई करेंगे उतना उससे ज्यादा क्या होगा? ऑब्जर्व करने के बाद they will get liberated outside the metal surface. Okay. तो उस वाले हम एनर्जी को क्या बोलते हैं? वर्क फंक्शन. नेक्स्ट ये हो गया heat energy. So when you apply here field energy यानी कि strong electric field, when you apply this strong electric field, there is ejection of electrons also of this metal. So there is an increase in the field energy. तो क्या होगा? इलेक्ट्रॉन will emit होता. So that emission of electrons is called field emission. Okay. Next है photoelectric emission. So photoelectric emission मतलब when you apply some light energy. So यहाँ पे क्या है आपका? फोटोन यानी कि लाइट एनर्जी. So लाइट जब हम इंसिडेंट करेंगे इस वाले मेटल सरफेस के ऊपर, मिनिमम अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी, तो वो लिबरेट होने के लिए कितना अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी चाहिए? उससे ज्यादा भी सप्लाई करने के बाद क्या होता है? वो इलेक्ट्रॉन विल अब्सॉर्ब सम अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी. So thereby there is liberation of electrons outside this metal surface. So emitted electrons are called photoelectrons. Emitted photoelectrons are called photoelectrons. Emitted electrons are called photoelectrons. Okay. So due to photoelectron there is photoelectric current. Okay. This is about photoelectric emission, not effect. We have to dealing with photoelectric effect in next class. So this is photoelectric emission. So there is emission of electron when you apply some sufficient amount of photon energy. Next secondary emission. So इस वाले फील्ड के अंदर क्या होता है? When metal surface जब होता है free electrons, then you apply fast moving electron here. When you apply fast moving electron will hit here, otherwise fast electron will hit here. So there is some amount of energy will be transferred. There is a collide. ये collide हो गया होने के बाद ये इलेक्ट्रॉन यहाँ पे हिट करने के बाद so another electron emit होना, उस वाले field emission को क्या बोलते हैं हम? Secondary emission. That is called secondary emission. Okay, these are the types of electron emission depending on external source energy used to perform their work function in accordance with their emission types. Okay, we will have this type of emission, or we will discuss some another things which is responsible for photoelectric effect. There is dependent on photoelectric things. Okay.